here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Boy, oh boy, did you see that sideshow we had to endure last night? Savannah Guthrie, NBC News, Town Hall with Donald J. Trump. We've got sound bites from that. We're going to compare and contrast that with the Boar Fest I watched. I watched the first hour. I guess it was an hour-long NBC Town Hall with President Trump, Savannah Guthrie. I watched that. Then my wife and I flipped over to the Biden Town Hall. And I tell you what, and I think one point in the middle, maybe when Trump's went to a commercial break, I flipped over as well. But you talk about a tale of two town halls. My, oh my. It is just unbelievable what we are witnessing before our eyes. Journalism is, for all intents and purposes, and we've known this for some time, but it's dead. There's a few exceptions. There's a couple of real journalists out there. The rest of these journalists are nothing more than professional deceivers and effectively members of the Joe Biden PR team. That's what we're dealing with. By the way, welcome to the program. I am your host, Todd Huff. You can email me your thoughts, your questions, your opinions. I'll even accept your adoration and praise this morning. Kidding, not kidding. Todd at ToddHuffShow.com. We're streaming live on our website. You know, if you're going to stream the program, I prefer you to do that on our website because who knows what Facebook's going to do or YouTube or anyone else. We've seen social media. I have that on our list to get to today, time permitting, but there's a lot to talk about with this debate. But we are streaming on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter as well. Todd Huff Show is the handle for all of those places. Be sure if you're there to help us reach more folks by sharing it, liking it, commenting on it. I interact with folks on there as well. I actually tweeted last night. I don't do that very often, but I tweeted last night during this sideshow. And look, it is remarkable. I have followed this for, my oh my, I have followed politics, for, I say close to 25 years now. And, I'm familiar with these things. I studied political science in college at Butler University. We've talked about that from time to time as well. Some of my experiences there. So what we're witnessing is truly unprecedented in modern times. It's unprecedented what we're witnessing in modern times. What the media wants you to believe is what is unprecedented is Donald Trump, that we've never had a president who's a, dictator like Trump. He's a white supremacist. He's virtually a member of the KKK. Meanwhile, all they would do when Senator Robert Byrd was serving in the U.S. Senate, close personal friends of the radical left, a member of the radical left, friends of Bill and Hillary Clinton, literally a former Klansman. They didn't even understand that was a problem. It's remarkable what the media does and the amount of inconsistencies, the amount of deceit. They want a particular outcome. They do not want to do their job, which is to report fairly, to ask questions, to push back. I don't care about any pushing back. But what we witnessed last night, some have described it as a debate between Savannah Guthrie and President Trump. I just think it was, I don't even know that it was that. She wasn't so much debating. She was basically a Biden apologist, basically taking the Biden talking points, and if Trump didn't say them, she would question them as though the Biden talking points were the proof, the truth, right? This is what we effectively dealt with. She was debating him. She certainly wasn't trying to moderate a fair discussion. She certainly wasn't trying to give him the opportunity to explain himself, to answer the questions, even if she thought it was a terrible answer. I again, pushback is fine. I don't want any of these folks to be treated candidly like Obama was during his time as president of the United States. Mr. President, how'd you get so great? Tell us about that fadeaway jump shot. What was it like? What was it like to practice with the Chicago Bulls or whatever it was, right? I mean, all this sort of fawning. Tell us again how wonderful and great you are. Tell us again when the sea levels are going to begin to recede since you become president, as you stated in your victory speech the night of the election in Chicago, Hyde Park, 2008. I mean, that's what that whole the coverage was. White House correspondents, the press pool treating Obama like that, which that's not good. You want to know, by the way, when government can do some really atrocious things, it's when the media treats politicians like that. It's when the media gets caught up in all the pomp and the circumstances and Camelot and all this sort of stuff, and they don't care about holding truth to power. They view themselves more as part of the in crowd, part of the exclusive club, the ruling class here in this country, versus now, even if Trump wanted to be the dictator of the United States, even if Trump was being a totalitarian, how in the world do they expect him to be able to get away with it? And he shouldn't. I'm not suggesting it. But the amount of negative, just hate-filled coverage of this guy is remarkable. So let's go last night. This was, I don't, if I had to pick a low point, I don't even know what the low point was. The low point was the whole thing. This thing last night, she came out combative. She came out, and I'll tell you what this was about, by the way, before I play this soundbite. NBC has taken a lot of flack. I don't know if you followed this. I did not discuss this. Didn't have, time yesterday. But NBC took a lot of flack for carrying this town hall for President Trump. If you'll remember, last night was supposed to be debate number 2, which was supposed to be moderated by the C-SPAN guy who's now been suspended because he lied and said his Twitter account was hacked after some tweet he sent out about Trump or some such thing. He lied about that. Now he's suspended. That was the unbiased moderator that was going to be moderating last night's debate. But remember, they canceled that thing a week in advance because Trump had COVID, which Trump, of course, had time to heal from COVID, to the virus to pass and for him not to be contagious. But I'm telling you, they don't want debates. They do not want debate. So they wanted to do some Zoom call and all this sort of stuff. Trump, remember all this. Trump rejected it last Thursday or Friday morning. Trump rejected all this. And so ABC says we'll have a town hall. Trump says, basically it turns into Biden gets a town hall on ABC, and then NBC offers Trump a town hall, which is what this format was last night. Actors at NBC take their whiny rear ends to Twitter, just so upset with their employer, so upset, beside themselves. I can't believe NBC would host this debate with President Trump. They're part of the problem. Oh my goodness, the humanity here. They're actually going to host this thing. And so that was what was leading up to this. So I think Savannah Guthrie last night, of course, you have to understand that they live in this bubble. They care more about what people with certain credentials or the Hollywood types or people in D.C. or whatever, they care more about what they think about them. Savannah Guthrie and the likes, the folks at NBC, they want to be in that in crowd. That is the in crowd to them. That's the political class. They want the praise and approval. They don't want to be on the wrong side of that. So she came out last night with something to prove. She came out last night with something to prove, and that was to show them that, hey, yeah, we have Donald Trump on here, but I'm going to take this guy down. This is going to be a bloodbath for President Trump. I'm not going to let him I'm going to ask him 47 times about being a white supremacist. I'm going to ask him 68 times about which day he got tested for COVID. That's how this thing started off. I mean, she asked him about COVID tests more times than I could possibly even comprehend. What day? Did you get tested on this day? What about the test? What time was the test? Who administered the test? Which nostril did they stick the test up? I mean, I'm using hyperbole, but that's what it felt like. So that's how this thing started off. Then we get to this exchange, and I'm going to go ahead and play this, and Oz is going to tell me it's time to take a break here in a minute, and she would be right, but I'm going to play this here in the first segment today because I want to get to a lot of stuff, and I want to make sure I get to this off the top. So this is President Trump. This is early on. I mean, this is within the first, again, I watched the whole thing. I'm going to say 7-10 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I'm not exactly right, but it was early on. I remember this. She's asking him about white supremacy. And this is the exchange. This is a couple minutes. I'll probably stop this at some point and interject. But I just want you to hear this. This is last night, Savannah Guthrie doing her best media hit job on President Trump that she could possibly even imagine. And this is the exchange about white supremacy.
Bad problem.
We've got more questions on COVID, so let's drop it for now. We were supposed to, as mentioned, be watching you on a debate stage right now. We're not doing that, so let's clear up a few things from the last one. You were asked point blank to denounce white supremacy. In the moment, you didn't. You asked some follow-up questions. Who specifically? A couple of days later, on a different show, you denounced white supremacy.
No, you
My question to you is,
you've done this to me and everybody.
Why does it seem like
I denounce white supremacy? Okay,
you did 2 days later.
I denounced white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a question. You didn't ask Joe Biden whether or not he denounces Antifa. I watched him on the same basic show with Lester Holt. And he was asking questions like Biden was a child.
So this is a little bit of a dodge.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Do you feel, it feels sometimes you're hesitant to do so, like you wait a beat.
Give me a break. What in the... So, if again, I don't have the soundbite from the debate, but if you remember, he wasn't asked to condemn white supremacy in those words. He was asked to condemn a particular group, the Proud Boys in particular. You remember this? The Proud Boys. And so what they're trying to do, and this is something the left is masterful of. They create this narrative. Trump is a white supremacist. Now, we know that there are white supremacist groups in this nation. There's no question about it. There's no question about it. And those should be completely and fully 100% condemned. White supremacy is ridiculous. It is evil. It is inexcusable. It is unbiblical. All these focuses, this incessant attention towards race in this country. And by the way, let me pause. It can certainly happen from white supremacists, but it can be used by those who are of other races as well. The focus and the attention paid to race in this country, again, race is part of who we are. It's part of our, it's interesting. We can look at ancestry. That's fascinating. Part of someone's story, culture, history. Great. No problem with any of that. Love to talk about that stuff with people who want to share those sorts of things. I think that's fine. No problems. Don't care. Interesting to me. Care in the sense that it's interesting. Don't care in the sense that it makes, it creates some sort of a hierarchy in society. If you use it as a hierarchy in society, you're going about it all wrong. We're all created in the image of God. Every single one of us. Every single color, both genders, whatever nation we're from, whatever economic class we find ourselves in, etc., etc., etc. So that is the truth. President Trump has condemned white supremacy for a long time, repeatedly. In fact, I might play the soundbite where there's 17 or 20 instances of President Trump doing this. Very exact thing that he's doing here. She acts as though, Savannah Guthrie, professional deceiver last night, she acts as though she's never heard President Trump do this. She says here, right where I pause the soundbite, it seems sometimes that you're a little hesitant to do so. What are you talking about, Savannah Guthrie? What they do is they say, first of all, they empower. You want to know who gives these white supremacists more attention and gives them more credibility than they should ever be given? It's the stinking media. They talk about these folks as though they represent 95% of white Americans, and that is ridiculous. It is absurd. It is stupid. It is untrue. But yes, That is what they do. So they create this. They blow this narrative up to levels of nowhere near reality. So far beyond reality, they overhype and over exaggerate it. Then they start naming specific groups. How in the world is the president of the United States? How in the world is the president of the United States supposed to know if every single specific group that the media mentions, which he gets to that in this soundbite, how is he supposed to know if they're truly racist, or maybe it's people who love their country that the media hates for some other reason, and they've said something that the media wants to misinterpret or misconstrue about racism. And so what they want Trump to do is criticize a group and upset that group that may or may not be white supremacist, racist, or whatever else. But what they want is for Trump they want to cause a division between Trump and people who might vote for Trump, right? The whole thing in Charlottesville, same exact thing. We had the statue, that the Trump speech was about the people who were fighting about the statue. Confederate statues, some people wanted those to come down. Other people said, we don't want those to come down. Trump said there were fine people on both sides. That was part of what happened in Charlottesville. That is what Trump was addressing. They want you to think Trump was saying there were fine people on both sides, meaning that white supremacists were fine. Of course, it is focused on the white supremacist side. The other side, in Charlottesville, there were two sides that got violent. One, it was Antifa versus the white supremacists. Trump was not talking about those groups. He made it clear in his statements. Savannah Guthrie and others like her act like the president never said what he really said. They are intentionally misleading you, me, the American people, and they don't care. They don't care about truth. They want people to hate Trump. If they can convince them that he's a white supremacist, fine. If they can convince people that he is a rapist, fine. If they can convince him that he's a totalitarian dictator in their world, fine. Folks, that is not fine. That is not journalism. That's not even appropriate political opposition. It is evil. It is professional deceit. And what we witnessed last night was a sham, absolutely inexcusable, entertaining. Well, at least the Trump debate was. The other one was a complete and utter bore fest, which we'll get to that as well. But I've got to take a break. Oz has been dutifully doing her job over here, and I have been talking longer than I should. Quick timeout. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings, $27 per month. If you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Welcome back. I tell you, what we are subjected to day in and day out here in this nation for watching this political theater be carried out is truly remarkable. It's truly remarkable, and the media is not engaged whatsoever in even pretending any longer to be interested in the pursuit of truth. They are interested in a certain outcome, and that is Trump leaving the White House. They're more interested in Trump leaving the White House than they are with Biden entering the White House. They have so caused a fury against President Trump, hatred directed at President Trump. They can't even see straight. By the way, I don't have this soundbite, but at the end of the town hall last night, one of the women who asked a question took to the microphone, and I'm going to paraphrase this. My wife found this quite entertaining. But the lady asking the question said, "Mr. President, you are so handsome when you smile." And she made, you just look great when you smile. Something like this. And NBC, Savannah Guthrie, I could feel it coming through my television last night, seething over this. How dare, she's supposed to stay on script. We gave her a cue card where she's supposed to read that directly off of there. And she's actually praising this president, praising the president in superficial ways. This is the left's area of specialty, right? Superficiality is what liberalism is. It's all superficial, on the surface stuff. It's an inch deep and a mile wide. Government has solutions for everything, but they just talk about it in a skin deep way. There's nothing of any real substance there. There's no real solutions. All they know is they want to tell you that they can fix it, and all you have to do is vote for them, give them more of your money, and your problems will go away. And people want to believe this. So they're the masters of the superficial. Last night, this lady was fawning over President Trump, and I'm sure they were seething over it. Also, the lady behind President Trump in the camera shot, kind of over, I guess, his left shoulder, was sitting back there nodding and agreeing with virtually everything President Trump said, which I'm sure they also were not very happy about as well. But anyway, I'm going to get back to this soundbite. this soundbite that I referenced before the break, played a part of it. Savannah Guthrie, I'm going to go back it up. I backed it up a little bit. She asks President Trump about white supremacy and if he's going to denounce it for the 5 millionth time. And of course, President Trump has done this. He just doesn't. They understand President Trump. They just don't want you to know they understand him. They want you to believe that they have to keep asking him these questions because he won't answer them. That is false. The reason he answers them the way that he does is because they want sound bites. They want him to accept their version of reality. They want him to accept certain things for their particular narrative. They want him to condemn groups who may or may not be specific groups by name. Why can't you just say, if you are a group who endorses the superiority of a race, whatever the race, for whatever the reason, I condemn that. By the way, that could include Nick Cannon, who says that black folks are better than white folks because of their melanin in their skin. Remember that? That's not good. What about that? What about asking Joe Biden, Trump says, about Antifa? Burning down cities all across this country, cities that are led by Democrats who are too afraid to step in and do anything about it. So I want to pick up here where Savannah Guthrie seems like, she states that President Trump seems to be a little bit, sometimes it seems like you're a little bit too hesitant to denounce white supremacy. Stupid stuff, but here it is. We continue.
It seemed like
I denounce white supremacy, okay?
You did
I've
2 days
denounced
later.
white supremacy for years, but you always do it. You always start off with a question. You didn't ask Joe Biden whether or not he denounces Antifa. I watched him on the same basic show with Lester Holt, and he was asking questions like Biden was a child.
So this is a little bit of a dodge.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
What's your next question?
Do you feel, it feels sometimes you're hesitant to do so, like you wait a beat.
Here we go again. Every time, in fact, when people came, I'm sure they'll ask you the white supremacy question. I denounce white supremacy.
Okay.
And frankly, you want to know something? I denounce Antifa, and I denounce these people on the left that are burning down our cities that are run by Democrats.
That's right.
While we're denouncing, let me ask you about QAnon.
There's another one.
Theory that Democrats are a satanic pedophile ring and that you are the savior of that. Now, can you just once and for all state that that is completely not true and that disavow QAnon in its entirety?
I know nothing about QAnon.
I just told you.
I know very little. You told me, but what you tell me doesn't necessarily make it fact.
That's
I hate to say that.
exactly right.
I know nothing about it. I do know they are very much against pedophilia. They fight it very hard, but I know nothing about it.
They believe it is
if
a
you'd
satanic
like me
cult
to
run by the deep
study
state.
the subject, I'll tell you what I do know about. I know about Antifa, and I know about the radical left, and I know how violent they are and how vicious they are, and I know how they're burning down cities run by Democrats, not run by Republicans.
Republican Senator Ben Sass said, quote, QAnon is nuts, and real leaders call conspiracy theories conspiracy.
He may be
Why
right.
not just say it's
Can I be
crazy
honest?
and not true?
He may be right. I just don't know about QAnon.
You do know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Let me
tell
ask you
all
another
about
thing.
it. Let's waste a whole show. You start off with white supremacy. I denounce it. You start off with something else. Let's go. Keep asking me these questions.
I do have one more.
It gives you an idea, right, as to what's going on. Again, what they want to do is, can you imagine? I mean, look, the same question. Again, I know this is a waste. This is an effort in futility. But can you imagine, first of all, the same intensity at the Joe Biden town hall last night? It's like two old buddies sitting around sipping coffee. I tuned into that board fest last night with George Stephanopoulos and Joe Biden. Biden wasn't challenged on. He might have been asked a follow-up question really gently by George Stephanopoulos. Really gently. Well, does that really answer the question, Joe? Senator Biden, Vice President Biden, does that really answer the question? That sort of stuff. Meanwhile, we have an all-out assault happening on President Trump, and he can handle it. I'm not saying he can't handle it, but how is this conducive to political discourse? Truly. But can you imagine Stephanopoulos saying Black Lives Matter is a organization run by Marxists? They are the founders of Black Lives Matter, including Patrice Kohlers say that they are trained Marxists, communist folks. That is the antithesis to the founding principles of this nation. Can you come out today, Joe Biden, and condemn Black Lives Matter? Can you imagine a similar conversation about this? Joe Biden would say, well, there's more to Black Lives Matter. No, there's not. Not according to Savannah Gunther. I mean, QAnon, look, I'm familiar. I read and, look at some of the stuff from Q. It's a lot more than what she just described. I would say fundamentally it is, it's not, I'm not saying it doesn't include what she said. Don't misunderstand me. And I'm not suggesting that isn't a large portion of what they discuss. But at its core, is QAnon not simply just exposing the level of corruption of the deep state? That's really what it is at its core. So to President Trump's point, look, I don't know all the ins and outs of, I'm running the United States of America. I condemn people who are white supremacists. I condemn those who, perpetrate lies and deceit. He could have said, like you, Savannah. That's it. I don't know specifically which group does what. I don't believe what you've told me about them. I don't know. Maybe Senator Sass is right. Maybe they're crazy. I don't know, says Donald Trump. Why can't you just take my answers, and why can't we get to real substance here? What on earth am I sitting down here with you for? This is an absolute, utter waste of my time and candidly a political hit job. But it's to be expected. It's to be expected at this point. Sit tight. Be back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place and time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Hi, I'm Daniel Elliott, Chairman of the Morgan County Republican Party. I'm excited that Hoosier Republicans and conservatives are eager to re-elect President Trump. But as you know, this ideological battle we're fighting runs all the way up and down the ballot. That's why I'm asking you to vote Republican from the very top of your ballot all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Every election is important, and we must win as many of these elections as possible to ensure that we defend our liberties through constitutional limited government. We need your vote down the ballot for conservatives like Indiana Senator Rod Bray from District 37 and Morgan County Coroner Mike Ellis. If you love liberty and the Constitution, I'm asking you to join conservatives all across the Hoosier State and vote Republican all the way down the ballot. This ad is paid for by the Morgan County Republican Party.
Our partner, Global Plasma Solutions, has published ionization testing results that demonstrate a 99.4% reduction rate on a SARS-CoV-2 COVID-19 surface strain within 30 minutes. This is the first instance that an air purification company has effectively neutralized SARS-CoV-2. Commercial Service Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is installing this solution in businesses and homes in South Central Indiana. Get your free information kit at commercialservice.com/info. Commercial Service, commercial grade service for your home.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Welcome back. Meanwhile, as that town hall with President Trump and Savannah Guthrie was taking place on NBC, that make-believe town hall, that coordinated media hit job that Savannah Guthrie did on Trump last night, we had a peaceful, boring conversation taking place between George Stephanopoulos of ABC News and Vice President Joe Biden. So there were some things that came up last night. First of all, Biden explained how he would enforce a national mask mandate, which you can't do, he says, but he would get down and talk with all the governors, and if the governors didn't go and meet with all the mayors, and if that didn't work, he'd meet with all the county councilmen and all this sort of stuff, town councils and so forth. I don't know if does Biden know how many towns and cities are in this nation? Does he have any idea? That's a lot of meetings. And I'm telling you, he's got a busy first week should he be, God forbid, elected president. He's going to cure cancer, cure diabetes, and cure Alzheimer's. That's all week one. That's day one stuff. And that's after he repeals President Trump's tax cuts. That's day one. Repeal the tax cuts, he says, which, by the way, is a tax cut for the middle class. Do not doubt me. They'll try to use, again, it's dangerous when the left tries to do math because we know where that ends up. But he's trying to use math. They try to use math to confuse us, to deceive us. With the help of the media, they'll say, well, most taxes, 83% or whatever percent they say, is coming from the tax cut that was instituted by Trump and the Republicans. Those tax cuts favor the wealthy. Well, in a complete sense, yes, in the total amount of money. I mean, turns out if you're paying more in taxes, you get, if everyone's taxes are cut whatever percent, the people who pay a larger sum will get more back. I mean, that stands to reason. But this tax cut helped over 90% of Americans see a lower tax bill. Those are the facts. Them's the facts, Joe Biden, no matter how much you try to pretend they're not. As Mike Pence said last week, you're entitled to your own opinions, but you're not entitled to your own facts. If you repeal the Trump tax cuts, you are in fact raising taxes on the middle class. Pure and simple. Don't tell me $400,000 a year, blah, blah, blah. Repealing the Trump tax cuts absolutely, positively raises taxes. End of discussion. End of story. Biden might say that he's going to institute other tax cuts for the middle class. That's another discussion. But to pretend like eliminating the Trump tax cuts is not raising taxes on the middle class is another lie. It's deceit. It's untrue. So I want to shift gears here, and in our time remaining here together yet today, I want to share some sound bites from Some other things that came up last night, including Biden trying to clarify his position on the Supreme Court and court packing, but really only raises more questions. So, talk about that after this quick timeout. Sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Are you one of the growing number of Hoosiers who are concerned about higher taxes, increased spending, and massive debt? So am I. I'm Donald Rainwater, the Libertarian candidate for governor of the state of Indiana. I believe that all Hoosier businesses provide the necessities of life to their owners and employees, and that all Hoosiers are essential. As your governor, I will safeguard your rights to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness as defined by you, not the government. To learn more, go to rainwaterforindiana.com. We need better government, not bigger government. My name's Donald Rainwater, and I approve this message. Paid for by Rainwater for Indiana.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
Give us a call at 317.
Welcome back. Okay, so I want to get to Joe Biden here at his silly little town hall last night with George Stephanopoulos, Borefest, as it was. Anyhow, here's his answer, I guess, when asked about court packing.
Pete has suggested is, and there's a number of constitutional scholars have suggested as well, that there are at least 4 or 5 options that are available to determine whether or not you can change the way in which the court lifetime appointment takes place, consistent, arguably, with the Constitution. I have not been a fan of court packing because I think it just generates what will happen. Whoever wins, it just keeps moving in a way that is inconsistent with what is going to be manageable.
So you're still not a fan?
Well, I'm not a fan. I then say it depends on how this turns out.
Oh boy,
not how
got to
it
answer
wins,
a question
but how it's
here.
handled. How it's handled. But there's a number of things that are going to be coming up, and there's going to be a lot of discussion about other alternatives as well.
What does that mean, how it's handled? How will that determine whether it's for expanding?
For example, there's actually real live debate on the floor. If people are really going to be able to have a time to go through this, I don't know anybody who's gone on the floor and that's been a controversial justice in terms of making fundamentally altering the makeup of the court that's gone through in a day kind of thing. I mean, it depends on how much they rush this. And you think about it, George. Here you got a lot of people not being able to pay their mortgage, not being able to put food on the table, not being able to keep their business open, not being able to do anything to deal with what's going on in terms of the economy as a consequence of COVID. And they have no time to deal with that, but they have time to rush this through.
Well, right now it looks like they're going to have a vote around Halloween. So if they vote on it before the election, you are open to expanding the court?
I'm open to considering what happens from that point on.
You said so many times during the campaign, all through the course of your career, it's important to level with
the
American
people. It is, but George, if I say, no matter what answer I gave you, if I say it, that's the headline tomorrow. It won't be about what's going on now, the improper way they're proceeding.
But don't voters have a right to know where they
do have a right to know where they stand, and they'll have a right to know where I stand before they vote.
So you'll come out with a clear position before Election Day?
Yes, depending on how they handle this.
What in the world does that mean? What on earth does that mean? First of all, if you remember, the whole reason that they have a problem with Amy Coney Barrett, well, the stated reason, the real reason they have a problem is because she interprets the Constitution. She doesn't legislate liberalism from the bench. She believes in the Constitution as it was originally intended to be interpreted by our founders. Aghast people are in the media, in the Democrat Party over this, because they hate that. The modern Democrat Party, the leaders of the party, represent ideas that are antithetical to the founding of this nation. They hate the Constitution. I'm talking about the leaders, those in positions of power, those who are directing the Democrat Party. The rank and file don't necessarily agree with that. Some do. The radical, unhinged, radical left, the godless version, the godless wing of the radical left. They hate that document. They hate what it stands for. They want it to be repealed and replaced. You talk about repeal and replace, that's what they want, repealed and replaced. Anyway, so Biden says he's going to tell us before we start voting his position on packing the court. But the whole reason that they say they're against Amy Coney Barrett, the whole reason they say they are is because they don't believe that a justice should be nominated and confirmed during an election. In fact, the original argument was this close to the election. Now they say, no. You can't do it now because the election's already taking place. Biden says, I'll tell you my position on court packing before Election Day, before you vote. Problem is, 12 or 15 million Americans have already cast their ballots. What about those folks? I mean, if Trump said something like this to Savannah Guthrie, she would say, oh, Mr. Trump, I got to fact check you here. That's not true because you didn't tell us your position tonight, and there's already been 15 million people or whatever the number is that's cast their ballots. Right? I mean, this is exactly what would happen. But he still can't answer it. They've had all this time to figure out how to answer that question, and that is the best they got. And by the way, did you hear the way George Stephanopoulos pushed back there a little bit? But Vice President Biden, you've always been a guy that says we need to shoot straight with the American people. It's almost like he was reluctantly asking this question. He didn't push back hard. He's like, come on, Joe, do better than that. You got to give me something a little bit better. I've got to pretend to at least be a journalist up here. I can't let you get away with that nonsense. So the final analysis, the answer is, I'll give you my answer, Joe Biden says, about packing the court prior to when you vote. But the problem is that's factually false. Fact checked. Which fact checking here at the Todd Huff Show. False. False information. Joe Biden did not give you an answer prior to you're voting if you're one of the 15 million voters. I got to take a break. This is stupid stuff. Joe Biden, this silly town hall last night. I got to take a break. Come back and wrap up for the week. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Welcome back. And then last night, the New York Times emails out a summary of the debates, and I'm trying to find the headline here, but I can't. But basically the headline was Trump was combative and Joe Biden had a deep reasoned conversation with George Stephanopoulos. Well, of course he did. As though the moderators don't play a role in this, or interviewer, or whatever you want to call the folks that handled last night. But anyway, folks, we've got, 2.5 weeks? 2.5 weeks of this. We need to get Trump reelected. We need to get Amy Coney Barrett confirmed. We need to fight for this republic. This fight, win or lose, is not going anywhere. This battle is for the heart, mind, soul of this great nation, and we can, in fact, win. I've got to go. Thanks for listening, SDG. See you Monday. Take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout Central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.